Hey everybody, welcome to Afrologik vlog number 8. I'm still doing it, still doing it, still doing it, yes! So, I'm proud of myself, and I thank you to all of you who watch and who comment and who like, and I encourage you to keep doing that, or if it's something that you want me to cover, holla at your girl. You know, the link to my blog is in the description. The link, my email address, get at me, or just go on Afrologik.com, go on my blog, and hit me up there whenever. So today's topic is going to be about making lists and vision boards. And let me tell you, this is something that I did not believe in a few years ago. Just really started getting into, I guess you can call it a culture. I guess you can call it that, but I found that it is instrumental in manifesting the things that you want. I found that it's instrumental in that. It helps. It really does. A few years ago, I had gotten myself into a situation, and this is going to be about making lists, because that's something else that I really didn't believe. I thought that was just total BS, like waste of time. A few years ago, I had gotten myself into a messy situation, one that was really bad, and it was, things that was going to have to be dealt with on the level of, I had to do it whether I wanted to or not. It was just something I had to deal with. And so I had to build myself up to be strong enough to handle that, strong enough to deal with that. And I did, and I got through that part of it, but there was other parts of it that was going to be ongoing, and I really felt like I'm not prepared for this. I'm just not prepared for this. And I was pissed off, but mostly I was pissed off at myself because it was all my fault. So, and I'm definitely one to take accountability for the things that I do. I'm not one of those people who go automatically looking for somebody to blame. That's not the kid. If I mess up, I'll overly take accountability for it. If I do something to hurt somebody, I will apologize until my face is blue. I used to. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm kind of accustomed to, I'm apologize to you once. If you respond to me, then you heard me. I'm not going to beg you to forgive me. If you don't, nobody will die from that. So anyway, I had taken responsibility for the whole situation, but the ongoing part of it was going to be very strenuous for me, and it was like different steps to getting back to some kind of normality. So I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and I was more than talking to a friend of mine about it. I was breaking down. I mean, I was a complete mess, and I would be talking to people and then just break down into tears, in mid-sentence, because I was just so stressed out about it. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, what you need to do is make a list, get a little notebook, make a list of all the steps that you need to take care of in order to straighten it out. And as you accomplish things on the list, cross them off, at least then you can see your progress. And I looked at my phone. You ever hear something so crazy that you just look at your phone and be like, what did you just say to me? And I mean, and because of where I was mentally, I kind of was, I said it flat out. That's got to be amongst the dumbest things I've ever heard. If I make a list, I have to look at this thing that I have to deal with, and it's never gonna leave my mind. I'm not doing that. That's just damn ridiculous. No, I will just handle this my own way. And so after going through and people that cared about me, listening to me just basically complain about how my life has gone to shit, and this is just a terrible situation, and how did I let this happen, blah 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 blah, the regular woe is me, kind of thing. So eventually I broke down and I made that list. I broke down and made the list. It took about a year to do, but I got everything on that list crossed off. So making a list works, and you cross everything off as you make progress. Like right now with trying to move by the end of the year, I have lists. I think I told you in another blog. I have a list taped to my bedroom walls all over the place, and I'm crossing stuff off, because it works. So moving forward from that, I mean, I have heard people talk about vision boards, and I was, at the time, I was seeing the same therapist that I see now, and she suggested a vision board. Now, once again, I'm like, are you kidding me? So you want me to look at all the things that I can't have, and that's supposed to make me feel better? How's that supposed to make me feel better? Looking at all these things that I want that I probably won't ever have, because I was really pessimistic back then, and I just didn't believe that because so much stuff, and I had just really gotten tired of everybody. I got tired of life. I just used to wake up and be mad at the gods for waking me up, because I just really wanted to go to sleep and never wake up. So I mean, that's just gonna make me feel worse. I'm not putting together a collage of things that I'm never gonna have. So messing around one day on my iPad, I made a digital vision board, and I would look at it every day, but I wasn't really seeing how I could accomplish those things. So fast forward 2018, when I really started feeling like, nothing is impossible. No bad situation is permanent. No good situation is, nothing is permanent except for death. As long as I'm alive, there's a chance that I can accomplish one or two things that I want to do before I have to make my grand exit. So I made one vision board. My daughter came over, and we had all these pictures, and we started cutting things up and putting them strategically on a pegboard. So we got it all set up, everything that I could possibly want, from the type of people I want to be around, the type of person I would want to have in my life if I'm going to, be in a relationship, the kind of car I want to drive, where I want to live, positive affirmations, which I also didn't believe in, positive affirmations, all this stuff. So I hung it on my wall, right in front of, like, toward on the wall that's at the foot of my bed. So when I woke up in the morning, I'd see it. So that really did start, like, triggering a lot of optimism in me, a lot of energy to have these things. So I went back and I bought a dry erase board, and on that dry erase board I started to write down excuse me, I wrote down a bunch of stuff that I want to do, and I have, because it's still hanging in my room, I have arrows. It's like a map. I made it like a map to how to get to where I want to go. And every now and then, I'll just wipe it clean, not because I don't believe in it anymore, but because things are getting crossed off that list. So now I can go and reroute the map. And so things are getting closer and closer and closer to that goal. Even though life is throwing bricks at me, obstacles or whatever, but I got this. So I work from home. My home office is also in my room. So in my bedroom, that is. So my job irritates the water out of me. I mean, it irritates me. So I'm looking at this wall, and usually if I'm looking at the wall, it's because I'm biting my tongue, trying not to say the wrong thing to somebody, because as much as I don't like my job, I need it. So I'm looking at the wall one day, and I'm like, I need to see an end to this, because sometimes when you can see an end to the process that you're in, it makes it easier for you to endure it. Because, I mean, think about people work 40 years or 30 years before they retire, and they're constantly looking at the end. Okay, I only got this many more years to deal with this or whatever. When you're in school and you get to, I mean, in high school or, grade school, and you get to, say, February, you're counting the months down. I don't have to look at none of you folks in a few months, what? Because you can see the end. So I, oh, so I'm looking at that wall, and I'm going, I need to put something here that reminds me of why I have to put up with this, and reminds me of why reminds me that I don't have, I'm not gonna, this is not gonna, I'm not gonna retire from this place. This ain't the end. So I made two more vision boards, one on each side of my desk. So now when things go horrible, I just stare at them and go, ah, I see the ocean. I see palm trees. I see, ah, man, that's my life right there. That's where I'm about to be. And so even when I meditate, these things kind of work their way, and I'm visualizing them. I'm not, I've told you, you don't force anything, you just let it happen. So now I'm visualizing all of these things, and I can see it happening. I'm crossing things. I bought another dry erase board and put my list up there. So I got one paper list and one that's on a dry erase board, and I'm scribbling stuff off, and I'm feeling so good because you really do get to see your progress in action by doing that. So I definitely suggest, it is, for me, it was far-fetched, like, I'm going to make these lists, right? I'm going to look at these pictures, right? And I'm supposed to feel better about this situation that I don't like. Yeah, yeah, because that sounds like, to me, I'm going to be looking at stuff I can't have. But guess what? You can have all of those things. And sometimes you have to, because we don't allow our minds to do what it's doing. We don't allow our minds and spirits to lead us. Instead, we're always trying to direct it. We're always trying to direct it, and we don't know where we're going. So we don't have the right to do that. But it's much easier to allow yourself to be led when you have some kind of template to look at and go, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm supposed to be going. And you will be led to it, and you will manifest it even when you don't know that you're doing it. You will manifest all the things that you want. You will manifest all the places you want to go. You will be able to break the monotony and even sometimes treat yourself, because you have accomplished something when you start to crossing things off of that list, when you get to rearrange your vision board, because all the things that you were trying to do have come into fruition. So you don't need to look at that picture no more. There's something else that you can be looking at, that will bring you closer to what it is that you're trying to do. I'm telling you, this works. And I was a non-believer. I thought making lists and making boards was amongst the most asinine thing a person can do. But it works. It's no different than, I got Prince over here on the wall because I like Prince. And, and when I see him, when I'm over here washing dishes and I look over that way, and usually music is playing, and a lot of times it's Prince, and I look over there and I'm reminded that somebody did this. Somebody did it before me. Somebody started off with less than me, and they did it. I look over at this wall. I got Amy Winehouse and Aretha Franklin, and I look at them and I go, they did it. If they can do it, I can do it. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I've told you before, I am a habitual quitter. That's what I do. I start things and then I quit them because that's what I do. But I have been really consistent with staying on course. Have I wanted to all the time? Did I want to stop? Last week. So yes, sometimes I want to stop. Sometimes I just want to throw my hands up and say, you know what? I ain't doing this no more. But that's not going to be any good for me because, one, I enjoy doing it. And two, even when I'm stuck, it forces me to let everything go free. And when I do let go and I quit trying to, I need an idea to write about, or I need an idea to blog about, and I just let it go, and it all comes to me. And it's because I have let go. I know where I'm going, and I'm not forcing it. I'm just letting it happen. I get discouraged. Sometimes, I'm trying to move by the end of the year. Yes, I get discouraged. Yes, I do. But I keep pushing because I have reminders around me that it's going to be okay and that it will get done. So that's my message to you. It will get done. Don't give up. Make your list. Make your vision boards. Meditate. Choose an amount of time to do it. Get a mentor if you need to. Somebody that you trust that'll smack you back into position and be like, yo, what are you doing? I have a few. These are the things that you need in order to get the things that you want, because you can have them. Really, you already have them. You already have everything you want, and you're capable of all the greatness that you don't believe yourself to be great enough to do. You already got it. You got to act like you got it. I do it all the time. I act like I got that shit. Can I touch it right now? Not physically, but I touch it every day. You know? So take my advice and do that, and I promise you that it will work out. I promise. In the meantime, I just told this person what I was doing, and they walked past anyway. Okay, so I gotta go because as you can see, it's people coming in. But follow Afrologik blog. Follow the blog. The link will be in the description. And I'll get at y'all next week. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.